Hi, my name is David, and today will be the first set of a few videos on a 1989 Toyota Camry base model. This particular one has 135,000 miles and is due for a smog change, so I'm going to do what I can to try to get it past a smog check. Some things to consider are an oil change and the radiator fluid. Also change out the transmission fluid just because it shifts clunky from first to second. Okay, so to do the oil change, first off, this is the oil filter. We'll get to that later. And secondly, this is the oil drain pan right below the passenger side. It looks like a little bucket with a bolt in the back. So this bolt takes 14 millimeters, which we will need. So a 14 millimeter socket wrench, as I have here, slot it in, and go ahead and loosen it. I'll really loosen it actually. Okay, so the next step is just put a little waste pan below, and we'll go ahead and begin the draining process. So I was able to get to this position without actually jacking the car up. So if you're having difficulty, I would suggest to jack the car up. But we're going to see if we can do it without jacking the car up. So it's a little bit tighter, the room, but we can manage. Yeah, now it's coming out. Okay, stripping out a little bit. Let's go ahead and... Alright, good. So we just let that sit there while we go ahead and take out the filter. Okay, so now for the filter. As mentioned earlier, the filter is on top, and it looks like today's a good day. The guy who installed it before did not screw it on too tight, so I'm going to just hand tighten and screw it with my bare hands. Sometimes I'm not as lucky. Why don't we... So to make sure we don't leave a mess, let's go ahead and put a piece of newspaper. Screw it like this. Okay. Cool, wasn't messy at all. Alright, just leave that to the side. Like so. So there you have it. That's where the new filter goes in. So the next step is to install a new oil filter, as well as put it back on the drain bolt, as so. Clean it off first. And finally to refill oil. So I've chosen Purator. For Purator brand, the correct oil filter model for this particular car is L14476. But any brand will work. Just make sure you get the right one. Okay. Go ahead and install it. Like so. slide this thing out and make sure we reinstall the drain bolt. So here we are, tightening the bolt. Alright, so like I said, make sure the oil filter is tight on top, just hand tighten it, and we should be good to go. Okay, now for the final step. The final step is to refill the oil reservoir with 4.1 quarts of 5W dirty conventional oil. So the oil filter cap is here. Go ahead and take that off, set it aside, and here we are, 5W dirty Pennzoil. Get a funnel. Looks like we have about closest 0.75 quarts to go. Let's check again. Okay, half a quart. And I think we're good. So I filled the reservoir to 4.1 volts and I've started 4.1 quarts and I've started the engine as so. So to make a note here, when I first started the engine there was a red oil indicator on the dash. That is due to oil starvation in the beginning of the run, because the oil filter, some place will tell you to preload the oil filter with oil and then screw it in, but since this oil filter is oriented so it's facing down or up and down, there really is no way to do it cleanly, meaning to fill the filter with oil and screw it back on. So, but it's only a few seconds and I think that should be okay. So this concludes the oil change tutorial for 1989 Toyota Camry. Thank you very much.